Good afternoon. Here is the national news from BGI TV, Baba Bagede Imo TV. I am Morire Rebila Lawal. First are the major headlines for the national news. NBC fines Trust TV 5 million naira over a documentary. Doling out money to other countries when Nigerians are hungry is disaster. Adebayo knocks Buhari. Students cry out, fear missing law students. Boko Haram abduct health worker in Borno. Bandits kill one, kidnap rector, one other in Kaduna community. Resident deserts Imo community as gunmen kill 7. CP orders discreet investigation. Amotekun arrests 6 over firearms in Ogun. Now the news in detail. The National Broadcasting Commission has imposed a fine of 5 million naira on Trust Television Network, Trust TV, over the broadcast of the documentary titled Nigeria's Banditry, The Inside Story, which was aired by the station on the 5th of March 2022. The Trust TV management, in a statement to The Punch on Wednesday, noted that the fine was communicated to the media firm in a letter signed by the NBC Director General Balarabe Shehu Ilela. Ilela had said the fine was imposed on Trust TV because a broadcast of the said documentary contravenes sections of the National Broadcasting Code. Trust TV further said, while we are currently studying the Commission's action and weighing our options, we wish to state unequivocally that as a television station, we believe we were acting in the public interest by shedding light on the thorny issue of banditry and how it is affecting millions of citizens of our country. The documentary traces the root of the communal tensions and systemic inadequacies which led to the armed conflict that is setting the stage for another grand humanitarian crisis in Nigeria. It presents insight into the intersection of injustice, ethnicity, and bad governance as drivers of the conflict. It also aggregates voices of experts and key actors towards finding solutions, including those of the Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, and Senator Saidu Muhammadu Densado, who hails from one of the worst hit communities in Zamfara State. The presidential candidate of the Social Democratic Party SDP, Prince Adewale Adebayo, has described the endorsement by President Muhammadu Buhari to support neighboring Nigeria with vehicles worth 1.4 billion naira as a disaster. Fielding questions on Channels Television, the SDP presidential candidate insisted that there are agencies responsible for international security relations. According to Adebayo, I am sad because we are supposed to have a government. What we are presently is like a bunch of Boy Scouts. Usually, this kind of operation is not done by the government. There are agencies whose job is to do it, unless they are doing it for corruption, but there are agencies whose job is to do security relations with neighboring countries. If you want to do security relations, you have to be at the tip of the Sahel. You don't wait for the terrorists to get here. If they are doing it for patriotic reasons, there are ways they go about it. The way they have done this is the reason we have Boko Haram. Apparently, they are fighting over who to award a contract and they messed up the whole thing. Everybody in that country now knows that Nigeria is doing this. It shows for a very long time that the government is not accountable for our resources. On insecurity, some final year law students in the Nigerian public universities have cried out over the possibility of not being mobilized for the Nigerian Law School in 2022 due to the ongoing strike action of the Academic Staff Union of Universities. Lamenting to the Punch newspaper on Tuesday in separate chats, some of them said their final year result had not even been processed by their institution. A student of Obafemi Awolowo University who spoke on the condition of anonymity said, "This experience is traumatizing. We have been at home since last year. My colleagues from other universities are already in law school and would be my senior at the bar. If we miss this opportunity again, our colleagues would be our 2-year seniors at the bar. We hope this issue is resolved." Because of previous strike, OAU has always had a backlog of students who don't follow their sets to law school. OAU students at law school at the moment are our immediate seniors. They are there with students from other schools that are our set. So we are supposed to go to law school this year. If we don't go this year, it will be next year. Another student who gave her name simply as Tolani said, "Our mates in other schools are currently in law school. Our one-year juniors in other schools are going for the next one. They are doing registration for law school right now, and they will be going next, October 2022. They are telling us to wait till 2023. Still on insecurity. Barely quite some time when the incident of kidnapping did not take place in Borno, a fresh incident occurred on Wednesday when suspected member of dreaded Boko Haram ISWAP laid ambush and abducted a medical worker, Babagana Bulama. The first incident took place along Ngaze, Monguno Road in northern Borno senatorial districts. The victim, Bulama, who worked as monitoring and evaluation M&E staff with Borno state government, was on an official duty when abducted by yet-to-be-identified gunmen. Vanguard gathered that this is not the first time such incidents of abduction is taking place, as many staff working with international non-governmental organizations Ingalls felt spraying the same road in recent times, including abduction of a photojournalist turned humanitarian worker who was abducted at his house in Monguno, with his new whereabouts still unknown for over a year. Monguno, a major town in northern Borno, is about 100 kilometer drive from Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, hosting thousands of internally displaced persons, IDPs, from neighboring local government areas that share border with Chad, Niger, and Cameroon Republic, including the shores of the Lake Chad. On insecurity as well, government suspected to be bandits on Monday night kidnapped the rector of the Federal School of Statistics in Mancho Kwaura Namoda area of Kaduna State after killing one person. Mr. Ishaya Bulus, a resident in the community, narrated that the bandits, numbering over 50, stormed the community around 8 p.m. on Monday night, shot one person, and abducted the rector. He said a young lady was also kidnapped alongside the rector. The attack came barely 3 weeks after two ad hoc staff in charge of distributing mosquito nets were gunned down en route Zanka Road in the same LGA. He said some communities and the local governments are being the target of the abductors, just as he called on both the state and federal government to ensure that security agencies were stationed in the area to curtail the activities of criminal elements. As of the time of filing this report, the bandits have not established contact with the family of the abductors. The state's police spokesman, DSP Mohammed Jalige, could not be reached as of the time of filing these reports. On insecurity as well, residents of on Tuesday night deserted Orogwe community in Owerri, local government area of Imo State, after 7 people were shot dead by gunmen who invaded the community on Monday night. A source in the area, Kelechi Ugumba, told Daily Post that almost all his neighbors have not been sleeping at home since the incident. He said although some of them returned this in the morning, they told him that they would not be sleeping in their homes until they are assured of safety. His words, "I was at the office yesterday, Tuesday, when my wife called to tell me that people were leaving the area to avoid being attacked. It was in the evening, but because I still had some things to do in the office, I sent my sister to stay with my wife and daughter. When I returned, she told one of our friends, who is also our neighbor, that the victims' relatives had sent information that they would avenge the killing of their brothers." Daily Post gathered that trouble started about after security operatives suspected to be members of the Ebubeagu security outfit came to the village and whisked a youth away. Some gunmen in retaliation stormed the community and began a shooting spree. Our correspondent gathered that while 7 persons died, others had been rushed to the emergency unit of the Federal Medical Center, Owerri, where one of them was confirmed dead this morning. In his reaction, the President General of the community, Mr. Benji Iheanacho, condemned the attack. He added that the attackers wanted to paint the peaceful community black. He insisted the community had no hand in the attack, adding that the community would make an official statement after a stakeholders meeting on 3rd August 2022, which was yesterday. From that story, we'll go straight to the final story. Operatives of the Ogun State Security Network, alias Amotekun, have arrested 6 suspects over housebreaking, cultism, and illegal possession of firearms. The state commander of Amotekun, David Akiremi, who disclosed this in Nabekuta, said the trio of Aziz Wazil Aziz Adeyemi and Aturashi Tobi were arrested in Ijebu, Igbo for conspiracy, house breaking, theft, and unlawful possession of firearms. He said Wasiu and Adeyemi were arrested at the residence of one Alalu Karin Amidu at number 3 Ipashe Street, Ojowo, Ijebu, Igbo, Ogun State, where they gained entrance through the visitors' toilet and stole household items. He said on interrogation, the two suspects confessed to their membership of the Eye cult group, having been initiated at different times in 2000 and 2001. I beg your pardon, 2020 and 2021. They also admitted being members of a robbery gang operating in some parts of Ijebu Ode and gave the name of other members of the gang as Aturashi Tobi, Balogun Lanri, and Adesoya Yusuf, while a locally made pistol was recovered from them. That concludes the national story from BGI TV. But before we go, some major headlines. NBC finds Trust TV 5 million naira over documentary. Doling out money to other countries when Nigerians are hungry is disaster. Adebayo knocks Buhari. Students cry out, fear missing law school as regards the Asuu strike. And finally, Amotekun arrests 6 over firearms in Ogun. For more updates on our YouTube channel, the analyst by Bagede Imo TV, kindly subscribe, click on the notification bell, select option all. On Facebook, Bagede Imo with Alawiye Adebayo, please like and follow the page. On Instagram, Bagede Imo _22. For other placements of your goods and services, coverage of event and function, please call the phone number streaming on your screen for other placements only. Thank you for watching. I am Morire Rabila Lawal. Good afternoon.